friends and fam. Welcome back to the Calix family channel. Thank you so much for joining us today on our love story video. If you want to stay up to date with our channel and what kind of videos we're putting up, please hit that subscribe button and follow us along in our video. So we're going to talk about how we met. Ooh.
Well, to start off, we actually met at a camp. It was a training camp for CEF, which is what we do now. But I was one of the leaders, and they had told me that there was this guy coming, and he was Hispanic, and I was the only Hispanic. So they're like, they told me that his first language was Spanish, and that he didn't really know English. So I'm like, bro, this dude just crossed the border. And so I'm thinking, okay, he's probably dark, mullet haircut, straight from Mexico. But he's not. He's from Honduras.
Yeah.
But yeah, they told me that he was going to need help, so they're going to partner us together. And I was like, oh yeah, that's totally fine. And I asked how old he was. They said he was 19, I was 21, and I was like, oh, what a baby. He just graduated high school. So I totally dismissed him as a potential cutie. And yeah, so he got there, and
I remember the first day when I got there. I was waiting by the main building, and everybody was just showing up, coming in, saying hello and everything. And I'm standing outside, and I see this girl walking down the road, and it's Vidi, and she's got her glasses on, her nice pretty hair, and she's all dressed up to teach. But what she's got is this cheetah print blazer that she was all into. She was so into cheetah print in that stage of life.
Hey, it's back in style.
And I was just like, dang, who is this girl? She's kind of cute.
So during one of the instances that happened at camp, I was so embarrassed. Okay, so low-key, I love hot sauce. And I love carrying it with me sometimes, especially for camp. But I was so embarrassed by it. I was like, I don't want anybody to know. And so I put Valentina, my favorite hot sauce, inside this protein bottle, and I'm like, no one's gonna know. They're gonna think I'm like healthy, #yes.
You faker. You fake fan.
Somebody drinks it. Oh my gosh. Well, anyways, so I put it in our fridge, and I was staying in this like camper with my director, and I just remember we were in the cafeteria, and Hector now he's told me that he wanted hot sauce.
Yeah. And
he asked my director, and she's like, oh, Vidi has some. She goes and gets my hot sauce and brings it to him. I didn't know any of this. And I'm just sitting there in the cafeteria, and then he just stands up in front of everyone, says, thank you for the hot sauce, inside this protein bottle. And I'm just like, I just remember feeling so hot and sweaty.
Bro, it was Valentina. It was so good with pizza and Doritos. Oh my gosh.
So I was like, I hate this guy, one, because he just exposed me.
Exposed you for who you are.
Oh, it was so embarrassing. Now we carry it everywhere.
Oh yeah. Now we're unashamed. I don't care.
I carry it. I love it.
But I do remember where we did get to know each other and really got to talk good and not embarrass each other. We actually both really like soccer, and at that camp they had a soccer field with soccer goals. And so we'd go out there during free time and play with other people. And I remember this one instances where I asked her, hey, have you played soccer before or anything? And she's like, yeah, I played during high school. And I'm like...
And that seemed like forever ago for me, because I was 21.
I'm like, I was so cocky back then. I'm like, I don't think anybody's better than me. I wasn't even that good. And I remember playing, and she was the only person I couldn't meg. I couldn't get the ball between her legs. And then she was the only one who would actually fight me back and push me and tackle me and actually take the ball away. I was like, dang, this girl's got skills.
And competitive.
And I still didn't think like, she's all that. Until one of the days she was out there with the ball. She kicks it up and like hits it with her chest and then kicks it toward the goal. And I'm goalie, and just seeing that shocked me. And she scored a goal on me. I was like, oh my gosh, who is this girl? And I feel like around then, after talking with her and playing with her, that's when I really started to like her. Because we talked about our testimony and how we grew up and how it was very similar growing up in Hispanic background. And it was really cool to know that someone could relate in your childhood, and you had very similar things that you could talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And then do you remember the last day?
Yeah, so before the last day, I remember I was in the camper, and it was like late at night, and I was laying down, and my director was in her bed, and she's like, "Beanie, do you like Hector?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And then like the next night, after like hanging out some more, I was like, "Dawn, I think I like Hector." And then at the last day, actually, he waited until the last day. It's a 2-week camp. He waited till the last day to tell me that he liked me. And
But the thing is that everybody at camp knew we liked each other, except for the 2 people that liked each other. We didn't know we did.
Yeah, and so yeah, we were in the swings. He told me that he likes me, and as we were leaving the camp, he comes, walks me to my car, and he grabs my hand and kisses it. I'm like, ooh.
Well, the whole time then, I'm thinking like, all right, I really want to get to know this girl. So, like she said, I walk over to her car, I hold her hand, and I tell her, well, I'd really like to get to know you more. So, if it's okay with you, I want to call you, and I'll call you and text you. I'll at least text you every day. We'll call, and I grab her hand and I kiss it to like kind of seal the deal, make it like this is serious. Like I'm serious.
And he's like, I'm gonna come back next year, but get this, he's going off to Moody that fall, which is not too far from then.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 2-week thing. I was gonna go to CMI, Children's Ministry Institute in Missouri, 6-hour distance. I just knew this kid thinks this is like the love of his life. I'm thinking, this is a 2-week summer love. We're gonna move on. He's gonna find someone else. I mean, Moody, come on, so many Christian, beautiful women. And so I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, I didn't tell him that. I was just thinking like, sure, he's gonna forget and not call. But he did. He called and texted every day. Even flunked some classes because of me.
Oh my gosh.
True.
Expose me, why don't you? That's okay. I finished, so
That's all that matters.
So that's all matters.
Yeah, we got to know each other from camp for 6 months, and then
we took a trip out to her school, and we ended up going to this pond with this really nice deck, and Vidi knew about it, but we looked outside and it was super cloudy and we thought it was gonna rain, so we're like, no, probably gonna get rained on, but we're like, well, we have no other choice, so let's just go. We go out there and we go out into the pond, and it literally starts, all the clouds starts to clear up. The moon comes out, reflects onto the water, all romantic. Ooh. And I'm like, this is perfect. Because in my mind, I'm like, I really wanted to tell her that I wanted to pursue like actual like courtship and dating. And we marvel over God's creation on the pond, and we sing even like a little bit of worship songs, and we even put some music to dance, some Latino music. And I remember as I'm holding her, I'm like, well, I really like you, and I'd really like to start dating you. So if you like, I'd like to do this with you. And so she's, I call her parents and ask them for permission, see if it's okay. And that's when we started dating. We started dating on October 3rd at 10:15. We started dating. I remember the time and everything. Yeah, brownie points.
So we ended up doing long distance for a year. And then I applied to Moody and got accepted. So we ended up having a whole year long distance, which sucked. But it helped our communication, and it grew us a lot to really get to know each other over the phone.
So fast forward 2 years later, I have been praying a lot and just asking God for guidance, and I wanted to propose to Vidi. So I planned it all out with her friends and her family, and to have some of my friends there too. And so I planned it out that she wanted to have kind of a photo shoot in Chicago with her friend as a late birthday gift. And so I take her around the city, and I knew the spots that she really liked. So I told her that I'll give you some options on where you want to go. I gave her like 3 options, and I knew one of those options she was definitely gonna go to, like to the planetarium in Northern Island, where you could see like the skyline of Chicago.
It's beautiful.
It's like, how is she not gonna choose it? So we went. So she ended up choosing there, and so our family was coming up too to be there. And I had asked one of her friends to make a sign that said, "Will you marry me?" as the giveaway. So they show up, and they're getting ready to come out.
I was actually sitting with her taking a picture, and I just remember seeing some people looking up and pointing like, oh, look at that. And there was actually a wedding behind me, So I was just thinking, oh, they're looking at them. And so when I stand up, I turn around.
And she sees the sign, and I go on one knee and I tell her, Viridiana Paniagua, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me?
And it was the most beautiful thing ever. The sign was beautiful. He had roses, the skyline, the pictures came out so great. It was honestly such a blessing. Love the ring. But yeah, ever since then, we got engaged. I mean, we got engaged then and got married the following June.
Yeah. So that's our love story. I hope you guys were able to just get to know us a bit better. So if you want to stay up to date with our YouTube video, please hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to get notifications about when we put up new videos, there's a bell somewhere on our channel where you can hit that and you'll be notified when we put new videos up. So thank you guys so much for joining us on this video. And just remember that always seek Jesus. Seek Him in the good and the bad. And yeah. Bye.
Bye.